Something has changed in the world of Outlander. Something that feels too big to be just another rumor. The whispers began quietly, a few cryptic photos from the set, a single line of dialogue leaked online, and then silence. But silence in this fandom never lasts long. Because now the Outlander Season 8 trailer is finally here, and what we see changes everything. The tone, the faces, even the way Jamie says Claire's name. It all feels different, like the beginning of the end. And maybe that's exactly what it is. Outlander fans have been waiting for this moment for years, but the Season 8 trailer didn't just give us nostalgia, it gave us shivers. The very first shot is not what anyone expected. Instead of a grand battlefield or a sweeping Scottish landscape, we hear the sound of wind, a haunting echo through the woods, and then Claire's voice, trembling quiet, saying, "I don't know if I can bear what comes next." And that line sets the tone for everything that follows. The final chapter is here, and it's wrapped in heartbreak, time travel, and war. According to leaked rumors from insiders close to the production, the story picks up right after Season 7's finale, with Jamie and Claire back at Fraser's Ridge. But the Ridge no longer feels like home. The Revolutionary War is closing in, and even though they've escaped death before, this time survival might come with a cost. Sources claim the opening episode will throw us into a storm that separates not just the Frasers from their friends, but possibly from time itself. The trailer hints at this when Jamie says, "If I lose you again, I'll no longer be a man of this world." The camera, or rather, the moment, lingers on Claire's face, filled with both love and dread. And that single sentence captures the essence of Season 8, the fear of losing everything, even after fighting so hard to keep it. Fans online noticed that Jamie's tone in the trailer isn't just loving, it's final. Some even believe that Jamie might already know what's coming, that he's seen something through the stones, something that forces him to make a heartbreaking choice. But what choice could that be? That's where things get mysterious. Several behind-the-scenes leaks suggest that the stones at Cray Na Dun might appear once more, not as a symbol of time travel's wonder, but as a reminder of its curse. Rumor has it that one of the characters, and not who you think, will vanish through time before the war ends. Some believe it's Claire, others that it's Brianna, but a smaller, darker theory says it might be Jamie, that he sacrifices himself, not by dying, but by disappearing, to save his family's future. And then there's the connection to Blood of My Blood. The producers have already confirmed that the prequel will tie directly into the events of Season 8, meaning every goodbye, every flashback, every haunting vision could carry a deeper meaning. The trailer even includes a brief image that fans have slowed down and dissected frame by frame, a hand touching the standing stones, followed by a child's voice whispering, "Mama?" Could this be Claire's father, Henry, crossing timelines? Or a vision from the future, perhaps a sign that the Fraser bloodline is destined to repeat history? One thing is clear, this season won't be about simple reunions or sweet resolutions. It's about consequences. Every decision Jamie and Claire made, every risk, every rescue, every moment they tried to rewrite time, will now come back to test them. The war is only the backdrop. The real battle is with fate itself. And that's what makes Season 8 feel so hauntingly final. The trailer doesn't show explosions or victories. It shows stares, touches, and quiet moments between lovers who know they're running out of time. A single shot of Claire walking barefoot through the fog, holding what seems to be Jamie's rosary, might be one of the most chilling images in the series' history. Fans who caught it believe it's from the last episode, a goodbye that happens not in battle but in silence. Even the color palette tells a story. Gone are the lush greens and warm golds. The visuals now bleed with muted grays and soft blues, the tones of memory and loss. This isn't the same world we entered in Season 1. It's older now, sadder, but also somehow more beautiful. And while many believe this trailer marks the end, the leaked rumors suggest something even more shocking, that this season could rewrite the timeline. A possible ending where past and present merge, where Jamie and Claire's story doesn't end with death, but with something far more mysterious, a return to where it all began. Because if there's one thing Outlander has always taught us, it's that love can travel through time. But fate always follows. If the trailer left us shaken, the leaked rumors that surfaced right after its release completely changed how fans see the final season. At first, most people thought those whispers about secret filming locations and rewritten scripts were just fan theories. But as more details emerged, it became clear that something big was being kept under wraps. The production team reportedly filmed in 3 different time periods, each one connected to a different version of the Fraser family. And that's where things get truly fascinating. According to insiders, Season 8 will not follow a single linear timeline. Instead, it will weave between 3 realities, one in the Revolutionary War, one in 20th century Scotland, and one beyond time itself. Yes, beyond. Some reports claim that Jamie and Claire will experience what the showrunners are calling the loop, a moment where the past and future collide, forcing them to relive fragments of their lives, but with one crucial difference. They'll remember. This could explain the eerie tone of the trailer. There's a fleeting scene, or at least a reflection of one, where Claire stands before the stones, her reflection showing a much younger version of herself. The whispers around the fandom say this isn't a flashback. It's a moment inside the loop, a point in time where Claire sees what could have been and what still might be. The line she whispers, "We never truly leave, do we?" might not be poetic at all. It could be literal. And then there's Jamie. For years, the question has been whether his soul is bound to time itself, destined to follow Claire through centuries. Season 8 appears ready to answer that question, but maybe not in the way anyone expects. A major leak from a crew member described an emotional scene where Jamie confronts an unseen force, possibly a vision or a spiritual echo of himself. He says, "If she lives, then I have lived enough." It's a simple line, but it holds the kind of quiet devastation that Outlander does best. Meanwhile, fans are buzzing over another hidden clue, the reappearance of Brianna and Roger, but not as we know them. In the trailer, their scenes are tinted with a warmer hue, almost golden. Some eagle-eyed viewers believe this indicates a different timeline, a version of events where they never left the 20th century. The rumor mill suggests they'll uncover documents about a man named Henry Beecham, Claire's long-lost father, connecting everything back to Blood of My Blood. That connection might explain why Season 8 feels so personal. It's not just closing Claire and Jamie's story, it's closing the circle of generations. Another interesting leak points to a letter, supposedly written by Claire and hidden in the past. The trailer briefly shows a candlelit table and parchment marked with her handwriting. What if that letter is the key to everything? A message meant for her descendants, or maybe for her past self. Fans think this could be the emotional core of the season. Claire's realization that every moment, no matter how painful, was part of the same thread of destiny. Even the soundtrack in the trailer tells a story. Instead of the traditional sweeping orchestral theme, we hear a slow, melancholic violin piece, one that echoes the melody from Season 1, but distorted like a memory fading away. Composer Bear McCreary hinted in a cryptic tweet that the final score will begin and end with the same heartbeat. That phrase has sparked 1,000 theories. Does it mean the show will end where it began, back in 1945? Or could it mean that love itself is the loop, repeating again and again through time? One of the biggest rumors that refuses to die is about a surprise return, a character thought to be gone forever. Leaked call sheets list the initials JG, and fans immediately jump to the wild conclusion: Jonathan Gillis, the actor who played Dougal Mackenzie. If this is true, it would mean flashbacks or perhaps even a supernatural appearance, since Dougal's story ended seasons ago. But given that this is the final chapter, it would make sense to bring the past full circle. The sins and loyalties of the past always return in Outlander. As for Claire and Jamie's fate, the trailer gives just enough to torment us. There's a shot where Claire stands by a gravestone with her hands trembling, but the name on it is blurred. Some think it's Jamie's, others believe it's her own. But what if it's neither? What if that grave belongs to someone who was never supposed to exist, a product of all the time-bending choices they've made? The possibilities are endless, and that's exactly what the creators want us to feel. The tension between hope and heartbreak, between knowing and not knowing. And yet, buried beneath all the leaks and speculation, there's one message that feels undeniable. This season isn't just about endings. It's about remembering. Remembering the people they've lost, the promises they've made, and the lives they could never fully claim. The Outlander Season 8 trailer doesn't shout its secrets. It whispers them, like the wind through the stones, daring us to listen closely. Because sometimes the truth isn't hidden in what we see, it's in what we feel. The trailer's ending might only last a few seconds, but it carries the weight of everything Outlander has ever stood for. Love, loss, time, an impossible fight against destiny. The screen fades to black, only to reveal Jamie's voice, steady but broken, whispering, "No matter the century, I will find you." And that one line has the entire fandom spiraling. Because if you've followed Claire and Jamie's journey from the start, you know what it means. This isn't just a promise. It's a prophecy. According to leaked script pages circulating online, the final season doesn't end with the Revolutionary War or a simple farewell at Fraser's Ridge. Instead, it dares to do something no one expected. It bends time one last time. The rumor is that Claire, after a devastating loss, returns to the stones in search of a miracle. But instead of traveling back or forward, she finds herself somewhere else entirely, a place between moments. The in-between, a realm that exists outside of time, where everything that ever happened and everything that will happen coexist. It's here, according to the leaks, that Claire hears familiar voices. Her mother's laughter, Brianna's cries as a baby, Jamie's vows echoing through eternity. The scene is said to be the emotional climax of the entire series. She isn't traveling through time. She's reliving it. Every joy, every heartbreak, every sacrifice, looping endlessly like a heartbeat. And just when she believes she's lost, she hears a voice whisper from behind, "You kept your promise." She turns, and Jamie is there, not as a ghost, not as a memory, but as himself, alive, whole, the man she's crossed centuries to love. Fans are debating what this means. Is it heaven? Is it a vision? Or did the power of the stones finally reunite them beyond time? The showrunners remained silent, but one anonymous insider described the ending as the circle closing itself. They said, "The story doesn't end with a goodbye. It ends with understanding." That's the kind of poetic finality Outlander deserves. Not tragedy for the sake of tears, but a quiet, bittersweet peace that feels earned. But before we reach that final scene, the trailer hints at a betrayal. One that changes everything. A mysterious letter addressed to Claire appears for a split second with the words, "Forgive me," signed only with the initial B. Could Brianna have made a choice that alters history? Or could this be from someone else? Someone who tried to rewrite time one last time? Some fans believe B stands for Brian Fraser, Jamie's father, tying the story back to Blood of My Blood. If true, that letter might reveal that the Frasers were always bound by a secret, a pattern of sacrifice that's repeated through generations. And then there's the question of who survives. The official cast list includes all the main players, but one name is noticeably missing: Sam Heughan's final episode credit. The absence of his name in the finale listing sent fans into a panic, with speculation that Jamie's final moments could happen earlier in the season, perhaps even as a parallel to his parents' story. But the leaks suggest something more symbolic. That Jamie's body may die, yes, but his spirit, his presence, continues through the stones. Meaning his final act might be to save Claire, sending her home one last time while he remains behind. If that's true, it would mirror Season 2's heartbreak when Claire left Jamie before the Battle of Culloden. But this time, she's the one who must choose to let go. The emotional symmetry is haunting, Two lovers, separated by centuries, who always find each other again. Only now, the goodbye is eternal, yet peaceful. The trailer's final frame is perhaps the most chilling of all. Claire stands at the stones, tears glistening, her hand raised toward the light. But instead of touching the surface, she smiles softly, knowingly, and steps back. The stones hum, the wind rises, and her voice whispers, "Some love doesn't need to cross time. It lives in it." The music swells, the image fades, and the words "Outlander," the final season, appear. What's truly powerful is that this ending, if the leaks are right, doesn't just close a story, it honors every moment that came before. Every tear, every reunion, every loss. Claire's journey was never just about surviving time. It was about learning that love itself is time. That every version of her life, every version of Jamie, exists somewhere, living, loving, waiting. And that might be the most beautiful ending of all. With the official release date rumored to be early 2026, fans can barely contain their anticipation. The trailer has already ignited emotional chaos across social media, theories, breakdowns, and countless rewatches of that final line. Whether it ends in heartbreak, rebirth, or something far beyond human understanding, one thing is certain: Outlander Season 8 will not fade quietly into the night. It will linger, like a memory you can't quite let go of.